day everyone, I am Jericho Pagulayan together with my group mates Fritz and El Antonio, and now we are going to present our title in capstone from Curiosity to Addiction to the animated film about the growing problem of smoking and vaping among youth. Our first slide is the project background. The World Health Organization warns that e-cigarettes are harmful, addictive, and not a safe alternative to smoking. Globally, there are over 100 million users, including around 15 million adolescents aged 13 to 15 who are more likely to vape than adults. Smoking also remains a leading cause of death, contributing to the diseases such as cancer, heart disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and respiratory infections. Moreover, in the Department of Health in the Philippines strongly discourages smoking and vaping, citing rising usage rates from 19% in 2021 to 24.4% in 2023 among adults. Rapid increase of vaping among youth driven by curiosity, peer pressure, and misconception about safety. In our study, in our study aims to, in our study from curiosity to addiction, a growing problem of smoking and vaping among youth aims to enhance, to promote and educate and promote awareness among young individuals regarding the harmful effect of vaping and smoking. In this study, the animation seeks to emphasize the negative effects of these behaviors on health and overall well-being, while highlighting its significance as an educational tool in encouraging students to avoid engaging in vaping and smoking.
Moving on for our objectives of the study, this study aims to develop a 2D animated film to raise awareness about the dangers of smoking and vaping among youth. Specifically, it aims to, first, to determine the level of awareness of the respondents regarding the negative health consequences of smoking and vaping. Second, to assess the effectiveness of the 2D animated film entitled From Curiosity to Addiction by analyzing the level of student engagement and evaluating their feedback following the animation presentation in terms of content, graphics, and sound effects. And lastly, to evaluate whether there is a significant improvement in the knowledge and willingness of the students to avoid smoking and vaping. For the scope and limitations of the study, this study focuses on development and evaluation of a 2D animated film titled From Curiosity to Addiction, which aims to raise awareness among young adults about the risks and consequences of smoking and vaping. The respondents are students aged 18 to 25 from Isabela State University Cagayan campus who will evaluate the film's awareness, engagement, and effectiveness in delivering its message.
Moving on for our conceptual framework, the concept of this study is to revolves around the idea that animation can be an effective tool in health education. The process of creating a 2D animated film comprises various critical steps that contribute to the overall effectiveness of the film. The first step in the process of creating an animated film is a script writing. In this step, the script is developed that forms the basis of the film. The script comprises the plot and the dialogues that are consistent with the objectives and the audience. The second step in the process is the storyboarding step. In this step, the animation The animation process is visualized. The scenes are sketched out in rough drawings. The characters and the scenes in the film are developed in the character design step. In this step, the character's personality and the looks are developed. The animation scene steps comprises the development of the characters and the scene in the film. The scenes are developed with the characters and the background. The characters are the scene in the film are developed with the keyframes and in the in-between adjustments. The character movements and the scenes in the film are developed with the motion adjustments. The characters and the scenes in the film are developed with the voice inputs and the background sounds. The animation evaluation step comprises the evaluation of the animation film to assess if the film is effective in passing the message and if the film is effective entertaining the audience.
For the timeline of the project timeline for the capstone project outlines planned activities from January to December, comprising 4 main phases that guide the entire production process. The first phase is process mapping, involves topic selection, concept development, and proposal revisions to refine objectives, clarify the storyline, and ensure the project's relevance to issues surrounding youth behavior. The second phase is pre-production, focuses on designing characters and visual assets along with sound enhancements, such as background music and sound effects, to establish the overall look, tone, and atmosphere of the film. The third phase is animation production, where scenes are animated in sequence, visual effects are integrated, and the final film is created to address vaping among youth by portraying its causes, consequences, and potential interventions. The project concludes with final defense preparation, which includes data gathering, project presentation, and manuscript revisions for submission, ensuring that both the film and written documentation meet academic standards and effectively communicate the project's findings.
Moving on to the pre-production process, the pre-production stage involves concept development, script writing, and storyboarding. First, the concept of a fictional character. The character represents a typical teenager who is curious, impressionable, and influenced by their environment. Next, the script outlines the dialogue, narration, and key educational points, ensuring that the message was clear and concise. And lastly, the storyboards were then created to visualize each scene, plan character movements, camera angles, and transitions. These stages provided a blueprint for production, allowing the team to anticipate potential challenges and organize resources efficiently.
The production workflow for the 2D animated film titled From Curiosity to Addiction, a 2D animated film about the growing problem of smoking and vaping among youth, involves a systematic process using digital animation software. It begins with digital sketching and storyboard creation, where characters and scenes are designed and colored. Next, Clip Studio Paint is employed for the line art, frame-by-frame animation, and scene creation, animating characters through multiple frames. Finally, the animated frames and video clips are edited and assembled in Adobe, where scenes are organized, transitions, and audio elements are added, and the final video is exported. This organized workflow ensures an efficient production process from sketch to video output.
And now let's move on to the post-production process. The post-production stage is the final phase and creating a 2D animated film, focusing on video editing, sound design, visual effects, subtitles, and rendering using editing software like Adobe. It begins with video sequencing, arranging scenes from the storyboard, followed by audio editing, which adds voice narration, dialogue, and sound effects.
Visual enhancement involves adding subtitles, titles, transitions, and adjusting colors for consistency. The final step is rendering the film into a video format like MP4, preparing it for presentation and distribution, particularly to students and youth to raise awareness about smoking and vaping dangers. Key activities include editing, sound design, visual effects, subtitles, rendering, and final output.
And that concludes our presentation. Thank you and God bless everyone.